The Fox 10 News Now stream, part of fox10phoenix.com. We do appreciate you guys being with us this afternoon and into the evening hours. I'll be with you all the way until 9 o'clock this evening. That's midnight out on the East Coast. We do have a Donald Trump rally coming at you live in about 90 minutes from Austin, Texas. So be on the lookout for that. We'll get you straight out to Austin, Texas as soon as we get that podium, like you know that we do. I hope everyone's having a great, solid afternoon and early evening. Do want to tell you about a story that has really been trending the last day and into this afternoon. A Massachusetts teen was accused of raping two classmates, and now he is going to serve probation. Just probation. His name is David Becker. And this is what happened. Let me read it to you and then we'll discuss it. I know a lot of you will probably be a little outraged. It's hard. It's hard to read sometimes. An 18-year-old Massachusetts man accused of raping and sexually assaulting two unconscious classmates back in April will now serve just 2 years of probation. The case against David Becker was continued without a finding in Palmer District Court last week. The case will be dismissed if Becker complies with the probation. Now, Becker's lawyer says his client can now look forward to a productive life without being burdened with the stigma of having to register as a sex offender. Well, that's great. That's great for David, who can lead a normal life while his two alleged victims really are probably having just the worst moments of their life right now as they are realizing that, hey, this guy who allegedly sexually assaulted us is now just going to have 2 years probation. He's going to be able to go to college, and who knows what's going to happen from there. Wow. When you think about that and the justice system that we have, that just shows you. At times, folks, it's just not fair. Becker, back in April, was charged with 2 counts of rape and 1 count of indecent assault. Prosecutors allege that the former East Longmeadow High student assaulted 2 classmates back at an April 2nd house party. Prosecutors recommended Becker serve 2 years behind bars. Now he's just going to have 2 years probation. He's going to be able to go to college, and from there, folks, who knows what could happen. The terms of the probation is he can't use any drugs or alcohol. Well, let me tell you this, folks. You're not supposed to have drugs, and for an 18-year-old, you're not supposed to have alcohol either. So he better comply with that. But if you have drugs and alcohol involved at these college parties that he's now going to be going to, what's going to happen now? And the poor 2 victims, the alleged victims here. Can you imagine what their families are going through, what they're going to need counseling for this? And now we have a man that is going scot-free pretty much. He's accused of raping 2 of his classmates. And they say, you know what? You're going to get 2 years probation. And his lawyer said that his client can now look forward to a productive life without being burdened with the stigma. Get that. Look at that word, the stigma. God forbid a man that is accused of sexually violating 2 of his classmates has to have the stigma. To register as a sex offender. And now Becker can serve the 2 years of probation in Ohio, where he plans to attend college. So he even gets a sweeter deal where he could serve it there in Ohio. He doesn't have to keep going back and forth to Massachusetts. How do you like that, folks? You think the justice system is fair? You could always tweet me at Mike Page Fox 10. My name's right there on the screen there for you, but I only share that story with you because it's one of the trending stories that is happening right now. And sometimes we don't get to talk about these stories just so much because we're talking so much about political views and political rallies. But how do you like that? Where do we go from here as a society? How can those two girls now, if they say what is true, how can they say now, how can they have any faith in the justice system? What happens when they have little girls in the future? And what do they got to say to the young daughters? We were raped, but the man only got probation. So what do those young daughters think then? Well, maybe I shouldn't even say anything because then I might have the stigma of being a victim, where when I know if I say something, nothing will happen. That's the problem with a lot of these cases where women are sexually assaulted and then they don't say anything because they don't think anything will happen, or they don't think that people will believe their story. And that is a shame that we live in a world like that, in a country like that, where something so horrible, the worst thing, probably the worst day of your life, and then to have the guts then to say something, that's number one. And then to find out that the suspect, 2 years probation. It's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face to the families, the friends of these girls. It really is. It's a shame. And I had to bring that up to you guys today. I just had to show you that story, talked about that story, because it's going to be a story that's going to be talked about a little bit. And I wanted to be right there on the cusp for you guys. I wanted to break it down for you. I wanted to talk about it. Tweet with. Let me know what you're thinking. I would love to know more what you guys are thinking. Right there, Mike Page, Fox 10. I'll be here all evening for you guys. We are in the Fox 10 News Now stream, part of fox10phoenix.com. I'll be right back.